How was work today?
Oh, it's just another day, another vagina.
Three, two, one.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Another Day, Another Vagina, where we talk about everything women from A to the V. My name is Jen.
And this is Natalie.
And today our letters are B or T. Titties?
B. Boobies.
Okay, we're going with B, boobs.
Or should we say breast?
Okay, breast is more professional, but tatas?
But are we really professional?
No, we're not really professional. Okay, we're going with breast. So, one thing you get to know about us is Natalie actually recently turned the big 4-0.
I know.
And you know what that means?
Mammogram.
Mammograms. Yes. So, I'm so shocked that you actually went through with it because I know you were a little nervous.
I was, and I was even going to cancel and reschedule for the third time.
So, how did you prepare yourself mentally for this?
So one of my best friends, she is a year older than me. She had gotten her mammogram before me. And so I was talking to her because, I was like, I can't, I'm scared. And she's like, don't worry, it's not bad. And I asked her like what she did to prepare herself. And someone told her, it's what it feels like is just grabbing your breast, putting it in the refrigerator and slamming the door.
Did you try it?
I did not. And I thought, if that's how it is, I don't want to do it. I mean, my breasts feel fine. Do you do monthly exams at home?
Well, no.
That's a no. That's a no.
Now they say to do it every season. And they focus more on breast awareness.
Okay. I mean, at the end of the day, just ask our husbands, right?
Right. If you're in the shower, I mean, why not? Why not check them? So when you got there, were you nervous?
I was. I actually had my husband go with me because I was terrified. Not terrified. I was so anxious because of the unknowns. So my husband met me at the location and walked me in, got checked in, sat down, and I was a nervous wreck.
And which breast did he hold?
Neither.
Oh.
He held my purse while I went in.
Well, at least he got to hold something.
And they called me back. She had me get undressed from the waist up. And I had like a half portion hospital gown on. And fun fact, you cannot or should not wear deodorant.
Really?
Yes. She gave me a wipe and I was so nervous. She said, "Did you put deodorant on today?" And I said, "Yes, no, yes, no." I couldn't remember if I put deodorant on that day.
Could you tell by the amount of BO that you had?
I do not have BO because I do not have sweat glands. Thank you very much.
What?
Fun fact, yes.
How do you not have sweat glands?
For another episode.
Okay. I'm shocked. Anyway, for the future.
I couldn't remember, so I was like, you know what, just give it to me and I'll clean myself off. And took shirt, bra off, put this hospital gown on. She told me to come out. She was waiting for me in the hallway, and then she walked me into the exam room, which is just kind of like it was a dim room, similar to like if you were getting an x-ray done or any radiology thing.
Like an MRI kind of room?
Correct.
Yeah.
I think she knew I was nervous. So she sat down and talked with me and kind of explained how the machine worked and what to expect. And I think in all, a total like maybe 10 minutes, with most of that being talking to me to calm me down.
And that's for both sides?
That was for both sides.
Do you stick your boob in it? How does it work?
No. So as she was talking, fun fact, she was putting on gloves. And I thought to myself, why is she putting on gloves for a mammogram? Well, because they put your boobs on the machine, not you. You just stand there. So no personal space at all. Yeah, she did one at a time. I loved her. She was very informative and put me at ease. So now I will say yes, highly recommend getting a mammogram done. It is not that bad.
And every year?
Every year.
And just for our knowledge of us wondering, did it come back normal?
It did. It was normal.
Great.
But for your first mammogram, there's really not much that they can, because it's your first. So come next year, they would have a comparison.
Yeah.
So unless you have, a lump or if you're having any issues with your breast, it'd probably be best till you get your second one because there's not a comparison. I guess they go off your comparisons from your previous. So,
Yeah. And they say that, everybody has lumps and bumps. They're worse around your period. Sometimes they hurt, sometimes they don't. But cancer is going to feel like a rock, and it's not going to go away.
correct.
So that's how we know, that's what you're looking for when you do your monthly or seasonal breast exams.
Yes.
And I know these facts. I tell patients these facts every day, but I'm scared. I really am, honestly.
It's not bad. I promise.
mean, Natalie's way older than me.
You are months younger than me, so let's not.
Turn 40 next year. And so I'm going to do it. And I think just talking about it, hearing your friends, other stories about, hey, I did this and it wasn't that bad. Just hearing that you've done it and it wasn't that bad makes me feel better.
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, just put your boob in the refrigerator and slam the door.
I'm going to do that next.
Can I record it while you're doing it, please?
That could be our new TikTok.
Ooh, I like that idea.
Yeah. Smash
Noted.
boob in the fridge. We'll write that down.
How to prepare for your mammogram.
That'd be awesome. Let's do it, actually. So, a couple facts about mammograms. They start at age 40.
Yes.
They usually stop around 75, but I think my grandma was still having them in her 80s or 90s.
I mean, women are still coming in their 80s for pap smears.
This is true.
I mean, why?
Really, at that age, and it's sad to say, because my grandma, she lived to be 95, and she could not stand for people to say, well, you're too old. They would say, well, you might have, colon cancer again, but you're too old. And she would say, well, can't I decide that?
I mean, it's true. It's true. You're taking away someone's ability to manage their own health care. But also, too, at the age of 90, and something came back abnormal, would you honestly want to even do treatments?
It wouldn't be worth it doing chemo
No.
and stuff like that. But still, I think these people wish that they
Still had an option.
they had a say-so in
Correct.
it. Exactly. And you're actually supposed to start mammograms 10 years prior to your mother being diagnosed with breast cancer, if your mother has been. My mother actually is a breast cancer survivor, and she was diagnosed postmenopausal around age 65 or so, I think, and that scared me to death.
How old is your mom now?
She's 73.
Okay. Now, well, what treatment did she have to go through?
She did a bilateral mastectomy, or she had both breasts removed.
Okay.
She also had follow-up radiation.
Okay.
Luckily, it was found quickly, and so she didn't have to do chemo.
Did she have any bumps or lumps or anything, or what made her get
No,
checked?
fun fact. My mom had a fake heart attack. She had a panic attack.
Okay. AKA heart attack.
Well, she thought she was.
Oh, yeah.
She went to the doctor, they examined her chest, they did everything else, and they said, you're fine. Your EKG looks great. But I think I feel a little something here. They said, when was your last mammogram? She said, I don't know, when I was 50. And they were like, that was 15 years ago. And she went and got a mammogram. They saw the spot, ultrasound, you have cancer. It went from there.
Okay.
And so
in a sense, this was kind of a hidden blessing.
it was. If it wasn't for that fake heart attack, she probably would have never been diagnosed.
Yeah.
And
Her outcome would have been so much different.
that just goes to show you, I'm a medical professional that works in women's health. My own mother didn't get mammograms like she should.
Yeah, but my mom was stubborn, and sometimes you just can't make them do what they don't want to do.
Yes,
You know?
this is true. This is true.
Not to say that we who work in the medical field, we too, we're the worst patients.
We are the
really
worst
are.
patients. I can't tell you how many people we work with. It's like, yeah, I had a pap smear 10 years ago.
I'm fine.
I know. No, you need to be seen by the doctor like anybody else.
Yes.
But, so if your mom is postmenopausal and gets diagnosed with breast cancer, you have the same risk as anybody else, which is 1 out of 8, which is still high. But if your mother was premenopausal, that's when you need to get a mammogram 10 years earlier. So if your mom was diagnosed at 40, you need to start getting mammograms at age 30 yearly. And insurance will pay for that. There's really no reason that you shouldn't be taking care of your health.
I agree.
I mean, you got to think, like, even Angelina Jolie, her mother died from breast cancer. She had the gene. She had both her breasts removed. And she's a celebrity. Proactive. And it was very hard for my mother. Very hard. We chose not to do implants. She was older. She was married. I mean,
so she doesn't have
no, she doesn't have any breasts at all now.
Did she wear fillers?
No. She thought about it, but she's like, I'm old, whatever. They said that implants would have been more of a liability.
Correct.
Something to keep up. They have to be, done again in 10 years, so forth. And so, but she does feel like she's missing something.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're missing something that makes you a woman.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a lot having to give up something that makes you feel feminine.
Correct.
And now you live with that, but
so maybe you should gift her that.
Breast implants for my poor mother.
No, I think you should get her, like, they have the built-in.
Yeah, the little bralettes is what they call them.
You should gift her one.
Yeah, I thought about it, but now
awesome.
she's been so, it's been so long, whatever. But the point is, yes, she had to go through all that, but she's alive.
Yes.
And mammograms is the #1 way to detect cancer early. So, yes, it sucks to have your boobs smashed, but you're alive.
Yes. And now that I've been there, done that, it's not that bad.
Right. And mammograms can detect tumors that can't be felt. That's why we do it every year. Mm-hmm. One thing that really scares patients is when they get the message that they have dense breasts. Dense breast is 40% of mammograms. It just means that you have more glands and fibrous tissue than the average person. And those show up bright white on a mammogram. And the thing is so does cancer. So they can't tell you if you have cancer or not, which is scary.
Yes.
Your next step will be an ultrasound or an MRI, and they usually come back normal.
Correct.
But you'll be on top of your health. And that's really one thing we want to do with this podcast. We want to encourage people to be on top of their health. So, did she say you had nice boobs?
Yes, actually.
Really?
Yes. Because I'm not going to lie, I was nervous because I have, recently lost quite a bit of weight. And so going from double D, small E to a C, I was nervous.
Small E? That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Did they sell those bras at Walmart? I mean, where do you get
They
those?
actually do.
No joke.
They do. When you go to Walmart next, just double check. They do.
I know. They'd be like, why is that girl with that big ass bra? You know she doesn't need it.
Oh man, the A's and B's are on this side.
I'm going to need you to go to the teeny titty section. Yes.
But no, they do. I mean, I have one of my other best friends. She's probably a solid GH.
Good Lord.
Natural.
It's like as big as your head.
I mean, she's huge. But she natural.
You could kill somebody with those things.
Yes. And it's funny because she's always talking about how bad her back hurts. And I'm like, oh man. Like, I mean, I'm grateful with my solid C's right now. I really am.
But yeah, that is one thing. We see a lot of older women who have these extremely large breasts. And extremely bad back pain or other issues. If you get diagnosed with back pain due to breast size, you could probably get your insurance to cover that reduction surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of women don't even attempt to look into that.
But again, I think that comes with, for my girlfriend's situation, I know her husband had his input on it.
Right.
Which most men do.
Uh-huh.
Because let's be real. What are the two most things men love on their women?
Boob 1 and boob 2.
Boobs and butt.
Boobs and butt.
Okay.
Your husband, is he a
Yes.
boobs guy?
He's a boobs, yes.
Mine too. Was yours breastfed?
I believe so.
Mine too. And you know what's funny is I was reading some facts about that, and actually, men that were breastfed, they have that comfort from breasts that's built into them, really. And now they're adults, and they're still breast.
So do you think it's more of an emotional soother?
I think, yes. I think they see it as comfort. But then it's DNA too, really. I mean, they did studies on this, and when a man sees a nice rack of boobs, immediately they think, she's healthy, she needs to be mated. Has anyone ever wanted to mate you from your breast size?
Sure, I guess.
I mean, you do have 4 kids.
I mean, come on.
So maybe that's why I didn't have a high school boyfriend. I did not look like I needed to be mated.
They're like, she needs some more cooking. She needs.
Yes. You know, my breast size caused me so much grief as a teenager.
Did you ever stuff to make you look bigger than you were?
I did, I'm not going to lie. And let me tell you, if you're doing that, the toilet paper is crinkly. And it won't stay. It won't stay forever.
Don't they have the inserts now?
Girl, they didn't have that in the 90s, did they?
But I mean, talk about now for these young girls that don't have any. I mean, you can totally get bras that have the padding inside, but that just doesn't look natural. Or not even that. It's like you take off the bra and it's like there's nothing there.
I know you have
it's like false advertisement.
You have to roll them back up into your bra. Yeah, you know, it was always a big deal. I was the vice president of the Tiny Titty Committee. And it was embarrassing, but I was very slender. I was 118 pounds at 5'8".
Okay.
And I just hadn't grown into my breast. Once I got fatter, in my 30s, now I have a C cup. And
are you happy with your size breasts right now?
I am.
Okay.
I look at them in the mirror and I'm like, thank God. They're so beautiful.
So you were just a late bloomer.
Yes. Honestly, I wish my first ex-husband could see my boobs now. Because all he did was complain about them. He got so upset when I wouldn't get a breast, a boob job. Mm-hmm. He was so upset. Luckily, the person he's in a relationship with now has tig old bitties, and I'm happy for him. I really am.
Cheers, sister. Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to you.
So, yeah, I guess I just wasn't in my body.
Okay.
And some people are just a late bloomer. I mean, I didn't even start my period until I was in high school.
Hey, my sister was a late bloomer. I've always been bigger chested than my sister. My mom wasn't really big chested, so I honestly don't know where I got my big boobs because in high school, I mean, I wasn't heavy at all, but I was big chested.
They say you get your boobs from your dad's mom. Have you ever heard that?
And honestly, I couldn't remember. I don't remember whether. I mean, I think she probably was. She probably had a good rack on her.
Do you want to call and ask your dad?
Yeah, no, let's not do that.
He'd be like, actually, when I was breastfeeding on those big knockers, I remember.
My mom used to always tell my sister, because my sister used to feel some type of way towards about being small chested, was more than a mouthful is a waste, and that's always stuck to me.
My husband actually said that same thing to me.
I mean, come on.
Well, and another thing they say about boobs, which makes me feel better, is the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Do you feel like yours have fell?
No.
No, they're still perky?
I mean, they're definitely not perky. I mean, breastfed, 4 children. But they're there. Now, I think I probably have more of an issue now since the weight loss.
Yeah.
Because I don't have that fullness like I did before.
And like you said, all that extra fluff, fat, what are we saying?
We'll go with fluff.
Yes. And breastfeeding really does do a number on your boobs.
It does.
And I know breastfeeding.
Did you breastfeed?
No, actually I didn't. Because I'm on a medication called Lamictal.
Okay.
And they said at the time it was dangerous in breastfeeding 16 years ago. Now it's not. It's totally safe. I was like, wow.
So don't you feel bad that you deprived your son of breast milk?
I do. No, seriously. And it's funny because they got like the La Leche Club and all those people, and they seriously make you feel like crap if you don't breastfeed. But I couldn't. I didn't think I could at the time.
It's hard. It's hard work. I mean, so I have, my two daughters and I have my two sons, and both my daughters just couldn't take. My younger daughter had a milk allergy. So.
And would that go for breast milk?
Yes. So day 3, we were in the hospital because she was throwing up and she was vomiting and pooping blood, and I didn't know what was wrong. And the doctor was like, "She's allergic to your milk. Stop breastfeeding her."
Wow.
That broke my heart.
Yeah.
My older daughter, we just didn't have that connection. But again, I was 14, so.
How?
Yes. I mean, it was just too much for me. She was born early, and she was really petite when she was born, and there's so many emotions come into that. Reality hits you. But both my sons were fine. Were good eaters. But it's a hard job to breastfeed. I mean, it takes a lot. I mean, yes, it's the better way of feeding your child, but it's a lot of work to keep up with it. I mean, with my older son, I think I breastfed till he was 9 months, and then I was done. I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But I had so much milk.
You can pump that milk and sell it now.
That wasn't a thing then. He's 24 now. I mean, heck yeah, I would have been all over that.
I know.
I mean, desperate time called for desperate measures.
Could have really made some money.
Right.
But, sometimes when you breastfeed, your boobs really look like deflated balloons.
Yeah, I hear that a lot from patients.
Yeah, and patients have said, "Hey, how do I get my boobs back to the way they were?" Well...
Implants.
You have to get implants. I'm sorry. And nobody's judging you.
No. But again, it's all about how you feel about yourself.
Yeah, if you don't feel good about yourself, if you're wearing a bra every second of the day, and I actually had a friend, and she was that way. She wore a bra unless she was in the shower. And she went to see if she could get them, pulled up, and they said if they lifted them, she would have an A cup. And she would have to do breast implants. Well, she finally said, "You know what? I got my tax return. Let's do this. Let's get this done." And she loved them.
Really?
Loved them. She never had to wear a bra with the dress. I mean, those things were right there,
And I'm not going to lie. I have been debating recently about getting it done.
Yeah.
And it's just a personal thing because of the amount of weight I've lost. I don't feel like they're as perky as I would like.
Yeah, and it's not just for your husband. It's not for other people.
No, this is about me.
It's for yourself.
Yes, as it should always be. It should be because it's something that you want, not because your husband wants it or because men are going to be more attracted to you. No. If this is going to make you feel good about yourself, why not do it?
Yeah, men will find comfort in your boobs no matter what.
Perky or non-perky?
My husband, every time he goes to sleep, bam, right on the left boob. And
He's sucking it or is he caressing it?
He grabs it, and I don't know if he's milking a cow in his dream or what he's doing, but he will try to milk me. He will squeeze it. He will twist it. And I'm like, "Honey, wake up, wake up."
So is he just like hoping one day it'll just start leaking and he can attach on or what?
But putting his hand on my left boob, just the left one, not the right one, gives him comfort.
Okay.
And gives him so much comfort that it allows him to go to sleep. And then I'm trying to pry that big ass hand off my boob as best I can. But I'm like, you know what? Get a good night's sleep, honey. Here it is. Tweak it all you want. And we think that men care about what our boobs look like.
They don't.
No. Hell no, they don't. They don't even notice. One time, we all have hairs that come up. Right. Do you have a hair come up every once in a while on your boob?
No.
Okay, great. I'm the only one.
So not only were you vice president of the...
But I was the... And, it's just one. And it was just out of nowhere. Anyway, we were exercising. That's what we call it in front of the kids.
Okay.
We were exercising.
Well, there's no kids in here, so...
Okay, we were having sex.
Uh-huh.
And I went to the bathroom, and I see this big-ass black hair sticking straight out of my nipple. And I thought,
wait, out of your nipple?
I don't,
Did you pull it?
Not the front part, like more on the side.
So areola.
Areola, there's the word.
There you go.
And I plucked it.
Okay.
And I felt so much horror and shame. And I came in and I said to my husband, I am so sorry about that long ass, weird, black curly hair out of my nipple. He was like, what are you talking about? I don't even know. Do you have nipples? Like, I'm
It's
not
like
even...
just goes to show they do not pay attention.
They do not pay attention. So why are we worrying ourselves so much about it?
I think it's just confidence.
Yeah.
Confidence and being comfortable in your own skin.
And if you don't have that confidence, get a breast job.
Or buy better bras.
Buy better bras.
I mean, they have some great bras out there that you will not find at Walmart. Or they actually have bra shops where they will measure you. Because can you believe most women do not buy the proper bra size because they don't know their real size?
That's true. And a lot of breast pain actually comes from wearing the wrong size bra.
Yeah. Do you wear wired bras?
Sometimes.
I don't. I stopped wearing those years ago.
Yeah, they're very uncomfortable.
Especially when the wire starts to poke out on the sides.
Yes.
Fun fact, do not dry your bras.
Really?
Yeah. You're supposed to hang dry.
That's what happens. If anybody else does my laundry, bra in the dryer, wrapped up.
I always wonder how they come out like that.
I don't know.
It's like they get all tied. It's like doing a puzzle to get them all undone.
Like, oh, damn, a towel. Wrap, wrap, wrap. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, God, now I'm going to cut this thing. And I try to, like, I want people to do laundry around my house. Don't get me wrong. But just not my bras. Maybe I need to put up a sign. Do not dry bras.
They actually have these laundry bags that you can put certain clothing into them.
Like delicates in?
Correct. Your bras. I used to do that with my kids, with my older kids, with their socks. Because those damn things would always disappear.
Always disappear.
And so I used to buy the bag to put them in for drying because I always lost them. It never failed.
Well, thank you once again for listening to our podcast. We've really enjoyed spending time with you.
We did. Till next time.
You guys have a great night.
The information provided in this podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes and does not substitute for professional advice.
This podcast has been brought to you by twistmyfancy.com, where sexuality should be encouraged and embraced. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this podcast, please share with your friends and hit the follow button so you can keep up with our latest episodes. Thanks.